You could cry anytime you want with me. You don't have to worry. If you've got a question for us, you can ask us via email. You can go to @YesNetwork on X or Instagram, or you could just roam the hallways at Barclays Center. We'll find you. Anthony. Noah Clowney.
To see, yes, more shot making from Brooklyn, but more the issue to me has been on this defensive end and just the clean looks that Dallas continues to create. That's what you want to show more of.
So Tyrese Martin is not in there.
Brooklyn did not play. There's things you point to, but you look at some of these numbers from Dallas and they're pretty striking. In fact, they already have 20 assists, just 3 turnovers. We've talked about the offensive rebound, the highly efficient shooting that they've shown for both the inside and out.
PJ Washington, okay, he's in there. 54 Mavs. Davis returning to the lineup, just his second game as a Maverick. Thompson tosses it up. Thought he was going to get a call. Claxton up the floor, got Clowney to his side. Williams catch and shoot, air ball. Cam Johnson trying to keep it alive, but it's knocked over to Dinwiddie. Bounce it, Washington bangs into build. He's a bruiser. Plays with a physical edge.
You think about his time in Charlotte, and then when the trade occurred last year.
The Euro by Johnson.
With 11 points and 3 assists to go along with 2 rebounds. And PJ Washington, a huge part of the run last season and the postseason, and what he can bring to the table.
Was the case. That team would have some heat on it, but after the deal involving Luka Doncic, that's not the narrative or the conversation.
It feels like 100 years ago.
Yes. Dinwiddie misses on a 3-ball. Clowney needs some help, gets it ahead for Keon Johnson. The Nets are down by 12. Claxton in
court, early offensive looks.
Johnson open look. Side rim. Thompson the board. Washington one-on-one. Uses the body. Missed it. Air ball. Saved by Jones. Thompson ball fake. Corner 3. Doesn't go. And the rebound grabbed by Claxton. Johnson was trying to hit Johnson. Instead, it's a turnover. Dinwiddie doesn't take the 3. Instead, feeds it for Thompson. Drive and dish. Jones. Thompson drive. Dish. Dinwiddie. Bottom. 156 after the Spencer Dinwiddie triple. Johnson had it knocked away. Dinwiddie with a 3-on-2 developing. He'll leave it for Marshall, who lays it in.
He's been really active with their hands.
And another turnover. Dinwiddie up top. Jones can.
And right now, Dallas has just had it working so much from the defensive end and then getting it on the push.
11 Brooklyn turnovers. Dallas has an 8-0 run. We have 7.5 to go in the third. Claxton gathers. Claxton flush.
And fly by, and that's where trying to take advantage of. Still got size positionally here for Dallas, but to work the inside, given how you've been shooting from 3.
9 points, 6 rebounds for Claxton. The roll by Jones. The dish to Washington. Get it back. 77-58. Mavs. Johnson was going to take it into the area around Jones and then thought better of it. Cam Johnson, aggressive, he's fouled. And
yes.
Kevin Durant and the new culture, new coaching staff, and Cam has been very consistent in who he is throughout.
The same character, disposition, and leadership, and I think that's why he's such a valuable component to this group and what they're trying to do, as Jordy Fernandez often talks about.
Aggressive play, but Marshall has it rim out. Nets are down by 17. Johnson upstairs.
And you look at the fact that the Nets, they've lost 10 straight, or they've had played 10 straight games that have been decided by 9 points or less, and replicate in a real game scenario. And so you try and take from that. And while Sure, it doesn't feel good, especially when it is the losses. That's stuff that it builds what this team is going to be.
Clowney takes it in.
That's what you want to see, just a semblance of fight.
77-64, Dallas. Washington lines it up. Sharp and Watford getting ready to check in. We're down to 5:26 to play in the third. Clowney stumbles a bit. Ball fake, Williams, pull-up floater.
I was trying to hit the arrow is what I was trying to do, so that's why I kept it tight.
Inadvertent? Vision cone?
Yeah. I can't slide these over, Burden. Falling short here.
Ball gets away from Powell, and Johnson gets it ahead for Watford on the move. Watford picked up by Washington. Now it's Cam Johnson. Drive and kick through the hand. Dallas is at 55% from the field. The no look. It got poked out of there. Marshall drives. Johnson got hit in the throat, and Marshall misses on the layup attempt. Johnson 1% shooting, but they've turned it over 13 times. Dallas just 5 turnovers. Christie against Sharp. Christie's jumper, no good. Rebounded by Williams. Johnson, leave it for Johnson. And slapped out of there by Powell. Break opportunity. Christie keeps on firing, and that one goes. 22 points off of turnovers for the Mavs. That's your ball game.
And just 2 for Brooklyn.
Watford into the paint. Sharp powers in. Can't finish. Cleared by Powell. Williams gets picked up by Keon Johnson. Marshall drive. Marshall left hand a jump. Greenbelt, Maryland native, now in his 5th year in the league, played at Xavier. Watford. So now you have Martin, Wilson, and Lewis all waiting to check in. Sounds like a law firm. Missed by Williams, saved by Sharp. Get ahead for Zaire Williams. Bounce it. Keon.
A chance to build on some things that they started to put together this year, but you want to make sure that you still have the same type of excitement, enthusiasm. I know it's easier said than done, but in these final now 10 games.
Davis comes up short. He's back in, but he knocked the ball free. Marshall tries to feed it to him. 2-man game. Marshall intercepted by Sharp. They got a little too cute. Lewis, fake, and Maxwell Lewis has cut the Dallas lead to 13. It's been as large as 19.
And to think about the fact that you're within 13 and have played how you have.
Anthony Davis, it rims in.
Plenty of time and opportunity for a burst, but Brooklyn just has not shown that. And anytime they make a little bit of a cut, Dallas is knocking down some clean looks.
Spin by Wilson, spin again, but missed it on the interior. Speed of Brandon Williams. It's real. Marshall goes down. Watford. Don't know if that ball glanced. Would have been a self pass. 7 to shoot. Watford. Tough angle. Giveaway to Williams. Get it ahead to Davis. Nets have turned it over 8 times in the 3rd quarter. Christie feeds it. Marshall, book it. We have under a minute to play now in the 3rd. Watford short on a 3. Powell taps the ball to himself. Saved by Marshall. Williams takes it high on Mavericks. They've lost 5 straight to Dallas. They've lost 3 in a row within the last week. Davis on the wrong page with his teammate Jones, so the Nets trying to take advantage of the turnover. Watford defended by Hardy. Lewis. And the fadeaway goes. Offensive ability.
He does, because he can cover a ton of ground. He's live-legged, wiry, and he gets the spots on the floor, and you've seen how he's used his touch at that, especially in the mid-range.
Davis will fire it. Miss from three-point territory. Dallas in front 96-79. Mets have shown no signs of stopping the Mavs. Martin off one leg. In and out. Tip in. Kyle 20. 96-81. Dallas. Corner. Thompson. No good. Daron Sharp has 5 offensive rebounds. He's got 10 points. Watford taking it in. Over Hardy. Off the heel. Grab by Jones. Brandon Williams, wide open look, doesn't go for 3. Offensive rebound for Jones. One-on-one with Wilson. Shooting practice, Klay Thompson, bottom.
Feels like there's a lot of standing around, and whether it's coming up with second chance opportunities, some good passes, just movement on Dallas's offense. They've been hitting all things at a high clip.
Thompson now 2 of 8 from the field. All of his shots have been three-pointers. Lewis misses on a 3-ball. And Sharp working hard again for yet another offensive board. Number 6. Bank shot doesn't go for Martin. Hardy's jumper. Sharp, swing it. Wilson, corner J. And the rebound to Jones. We're down to the 9:08 mark of this 4th quarter. It's all Dallas. Martin steps in front for the steal. Nets are running. Martin to Lewis. Jumper is pure. But maybe think of it.
We appreciate it.
1% of the audience just got it.
Well, I know those names. Like,
okay.
I don't fully understand
1.1% got it.
what you were referencing. I know the names.
It's Lewis and Martin. The 4 Mavericks. Claxton back in. Martin ready to fire. He 6 points now for Tyrese Martin. Dinwiddie against Lewis. Lewis digging in defensively. Dinwiddie gets around him and
gets downhill, got the roll, and he's been consistently on the attack here against this Brooklyn defense.
nice look. 103-89 Mavericks. 7:22 to go here in the 4th. High screen Jones, the roll to the rim. Clowney there to greet him. Thompson comes to the ball, floated up, and Jones. From his New Orleans days, signed him to that 3-year contract. 1 out of 2 for Jones.
Well, he can get after you on the defensive end, and for as much as you think about some of the aspects offensively, but he is tenacious on this end of the floor, and you can see it in how he can pressure the ball.
Martin, swing. Johnson slicing to the 17 for Johnson. 104-91. We have 6:37 to play. Thompson gets around Lewis for the. And Martin is fouled by.
He is just that variation of how they're continuing to try and put pressure on this Dallas defense. I keep circling back, though. More of it, though, has been the trouble on their own defensive end of the floor.
Nets are at 70% on 2-pointers, 28 of 40. They're 9 of 30 from downtown. Claxton gives it up. So Nets have it on the side. Johnson feeds to Johnson. Deion Johnson is fouled. 2 out of 2. Mavericks have never trailed, up by as many as 22. Dallas trying to take a half-game lead in the Western Conference standings over the Phoenix Suns, currently tied. They're both in that 10 position. Dinwiddie. Oh!
Arc on that shot. Spencer Dinwiddie now up to 16 points with 7 of 10 shooting from the field. Highly, highly efficient. 10 assists too.
Johnson, shake, bake. Rims out. Rebound, leaks out to Keon Johnson. Clowney steps into it. And the Dallas Mavericks have 33 assists. Marshall drives in, stops, and pops for...
Had 19 at the half. I mean, that was a huge part of how they were getting such easy looks.
Johnson turns the corner, tries to give it up to Claxton, battle for it, and it's knocked over to Dinwiddie. Marshall, pedal to the metal. Going here, 4:32 mark. Dallas 112, Brooklyn 93. Every time the Nets have made any sort of move, the Mavericks have had multiple answers. Johnson, feed it. Claxton's going to take and make 13 points, 7 rebounds for Nick Claxton, make it 16. Toss it in for Anthony Davis. He has logged 25 minutes. Shot clock down to 5. Marshall gets the step and explodes, but couldn't finish it. Push up the floor. Watford, the lane opens up. 14. We have 3:36 remaining in the fourth. Martin digging at the ball against Dinwiddie. Trying to work over that screen. Pick, pop, Davis, back for Dinwiddie. 7 to shoot. Roller is Davis. Layup, executed by the Mavs. 11 assists for Spencer Dinwiddie. Clowney doesn't take the 3. Washington is there defensively. Cam Johnson swing. Can he go back to back? Yes, sir!
Into that block area in the lane, and everyone sucks in. Obviously, it was part of your game plan discipline and knowing your personnel for Dallas. It's great to see Claxton knock those 2 down.
19 for Claxton. Nets are at 54% shooting. Christie is fouled by Watford.
And he had some solid games for the Lakers this season.
And it gives the Mavs a 15-point advantage. 2:40 to play. Johnson lines it up. Can't hit the 3. Rebounded by Christie. Marshall drives in, and a 101. Marshall with big numbers here tonight. 22 points. 19 points, 7 rebounds. Watford drive, Euro, short. And the rebound grab by Brandon Williams for the final 2 minutes. 2 3-pointers for Nick Claxton tonight. He had entered the game 4 of 35 in his career. Marshall crosses, net there by Watford. Marshall in and out. Final minute 45. Nets will be home for the Toronto Raptors on Wednesday. Eastern Conference standings are very fluid. Lewis misses on a 3. Christie picked up by Lewis, former teammates with the Lakers. 10 to shoot. Christie drive to the corner. Hardy crosses, fades, missed it. Powell keeps it alive, volleyball style. Christie lines it up. And it's rebounded by Martin. Last minute of action here in Brooklyn tonight. Turnover, Nets. That is 19 on the night. Just 10 for the Mavs. Marshall drives in. And at rim, offensive rebound to Brandon Williams. So the Mavericks are going to improve to 35 and 37. Williams again gets to the cup, and this one, they came in tied with Philadelphia, 1 game worse than Toronto in the Eastern Conference. And this one is just about over. Shot clock violation. 6 in